I get this question a lot online or from patients in my practice. Are gluten-free products good for diabetics? Hi everybody, my name is James Marin. I'm a holistic registered dietitian, environmental nutritionist, author, speaker, and diabetes expert. I get the question about gluten-free products all the time. Gluten-free, you hear different things online, you hear different things from friends and family, that it's healthier, that it's better, and in some ways that is true. But what about in the context of a diabetic, right? Whether you're pre-diabetic, gestational, type 1, type 2, type 3, any form of diabetes, are gluten-free products better for you? Well, we're gonna talk about that today. Let's get into the details of gluten-free. Now, you have to understand first what it is, right? You have to understand what is gluten-free. Well, gluten-free just means that it's lacking the protein gluten, which is commonly found in certain grain products, okay? So that's it. You're basically not having a big protein called gluten that usually comes from, wheat and barley and other grains as well. So it's a big protein that's common when you mix up these grains and you make them into flour and you add some water and you're gonna bake a bread. Gluten is the protein found in these breads or these grain products, okay? So gluten is a protein, okay, we got it. Why do people go gluten-free? Well, people go gluten-free for many reasons now, but ultimately it was for a disease called celiac disease, okay? So the gluten for celiac patients destroys their microvilli. To make a long story short, it just kind of hurts their gut. It's not good for their gut. They're allergic to gluten, okay? Now, celiac disease makes up a very, very small percentage of the population. So why are more people going gluten-free when they don't have celiac disease? Well, there's one big reason for that. Now, wheat products and even gluten-containing products in general are one of the most heavily sprayed crops with pesticides. Okay, I won't go too deep into that. We've done other videos on that. We'll do more in the future. But just know that a lot of people nowadays aren't really allergic to gluten. They're allergic to the chemicals found on these gluten-containing crops, okay? And make no mistake that even though these chemicals are sprayed on the crops, they do make their way into the final product of a food, let's say a bread or cereal or a cracker, whatever the case is. And so now when you go gluten-free, what you're doing is not only avoiding the protein, gluten, but you're avoiding a lot of the pesticides that are associated with gluten-containing grains. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But now, the last point, the most important point now, even if you are gluten-free and you're eating gluten-free bread and gluten-free crackers and gluten-free whatever, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of healthy products. Like I've seen, smoothies or, what else, like a trail mix packet that says gluten-free. A lot of times they stick gluten-free on obviously gluten-free products, right? They just add that extra term on there to make you want to buy it more. Okay, I think hopefully everyone should realize that nuts and seeds and fruits and many vegetables are naturally gluten-free because they don't have that protein, right? Only these proteins are found in certain grains, okay? So there's a lot of foods that are naturally gluten-free. They just stick that label on there so you're more likely to be like, oh wow, gluten-free, this is gluten-free, I'll buy it. But getting to the last point, it's important to know that just because something says gluten-free, it doesn't mean carb-free, it doesn't mean low carb, it doesn't mean low sugar, it doesn't have anything to do with the amount of processed, dangerous, refined grains, or even refined, dangerous animal products that are in the food, okay? So gluten-free products can still contribute to complications in your diabetes. It can still contribute to you going from pre-diabetic to type 2 diabetic, okay? So it's very important to be aware of that. Gluten-free is not a free pass for diabetics. Gluten-free is not a free pass for anyone. Because even now there are more and more gluten-free products out there that are highly processed, highly refined. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, or if you've clicked the link below and learned more and gotten the course and gotten all our information, you know that it's not carbohydrates and sugar that are bad, it's refined carbohydrates and refined sugar that is bad. And gluten-free products can still contain a number of refined carbohydrates and refined sugar. Okay, so it's important to know gluten-free does not mean healthy. Even if something says gluten-free on the front, I still challenge you to read the ingredients, understand the ingredients, and choose simple ingredients. So I can make this a whole hour-long video. If you want to learn more, click the links below. Learn more about what to eat, about meal planning, about gluten-free, about what foods are going to help reverse your symptoms, better manage your diabetes, and even do away with diabetes and beat your diabetes, okay? So you can learn more about that by clicking the link below. I hope this helped you kind of understand gluten-free a little bit better, that you can kind of share this with friends and let them know, those that are saying, oh yeah, do this gluten-free cracker, do this gluten-free product. It's not always the safest, it's not always the best for your diabetes, okay? So if you enjoyed this video, share it with friends, give us a thumbs up, and as always, have a wonderful day.